Information technology is beneficial for the environment. Information technology connects the world. It can be argued that knowing about global warming is a result of having access to global information. With this information, scientists are able to detect patterns that might have existed before but were not identified because we did not have the technology to notice and address them. One of the most important parts of solving a problem is understanding it, and IT gives us the ability to do so. An advantage of information technology is that it lets us measure energy usage accurately. By measuring energy usage accurately and collaborating with other scientists, we can find solutions to problems instead of focusing on the problems. Also, with the use of IT, we can have better control over production. For example, automated building control dramatically reduces facility energy and operating costs. Through intelligent control, it is estimated that there could be 20 to 25% energy saving, which could rise to 50% on very old and badly managed buildings. Also, through the communication and findings on energy and power generation, many advancements have taken place. Nuclear fusion, for example, seems like an ideal replacement to overcome the pollution caused by current power generators.
Inspire environmental action. Information technology can be used to target individuals and corporations to increase environmental awareness. Through the use of social media, public service announcements, and advertisements, information technology can help inform people of the impact of their everyday actions on the environment. It can be used to encourage and inspire people to go green and purchase or use products that are environmentally friendly and reusable. It can be used to educate people about the changes that can be implemented in their everyday lives, from small things such as reusable coffee cups, grocery bags, turning the lights off at home, to bigger changes in lifestyle such as switching to a hybrid car. Advancements in technology can allow corporations to use simulation tools to help predict the potential outcome of their business actions before actual implementation. Using this information, they can strive to be increasingly environmentally responsible by creating sustainable initial designs. Individuals can encourage environmental responsibility, influencing companies' market share through their buying trends. In turn, corporations can help drive individuals' positive actions, for example by charging less for those who choose to install solar panels and use electricity responsibly, conserving resources and protecting the environment for generations to come.
Information technology helps reduce waste. IT especially helps the environment by preserving a major factor that helps consume CO2 in our world today. These are trees. Similar to how public transportation has higher passenger kilometer on one bus than one car, electronics can, in essence, handle more passengers, books, binders, and papers on one device. In Canada, there has been a trend to decrease the use of paper bills and phone books by substituting them with e-bills or electronic phone directories. In Canada alone, there are 25.5 million people with cell phones. If it wasn't for e-bills and aggregation, there would be a total of 5,000 trees taken down in order to produce those bill statements alone. Now multiply that by all of the other bills you have, such as bank statements, credit cards, electricity, natural gas bills, TV, home phone, you get the point. But phone books were the real culprits. When we were younger, phone companies delivered phone books to every household in Canada. Every phone book has about 1,000 pages. Now multiply that with the 13 million households in Canada. That's 13 billion pages of paper to produce in one single year. Let's do the math. If 1 ton of paper is produced from 24 trees, that's a little more than 2 million trees per year just for your phone books.
Minimizing ecological footprint. The advancement of information and communication technology is beneficial to the environment in that it serves as a catalyst for decreasing ecological, and more specifically, carbon footprints. According to Environment Canada's National Pollutant Release Inventory Database, the NPRI, in 2010, mobile sources accounted for approximately 68% of Canada's carbon monoxide emissions, labeled as a key air pollutant. With more accessible forms of communication, such as video and teleconferencing, instant messaging, and texting, travel can be greatly reduced, thereby minimizing carbon footprints. The gradual progression towards multifunction devices also helps cut down on negative effects on the environment. For example, having a multifunction printer, as opposed to a printer, copier, scanner, and fax machine, would dramatically reduce power consumption. And in terms of recyclable materials, Having all-in-one devices greatly lessens the amount of waste created, due to the fact that only one set of consumables, like the ink or toner cartridge, would be required.
Recycling is an effective improvement in recycling technology with many benefits. Obsolete electronics such as PCs and phones become toxins and carcinogens. Through e-cycling, they transform into a source of secondary raw materials. Before the advent of e-cycling, the electronic waste was either incinerated or sent to landfills. Incineration causes greenhouse gas emissions and release of other dangerous pollutants. Instead, e-cycling utilizes environmentally friendly methods of disposing e-waste that requires no chemical leaching and no toxic burning. Toxic material from landfills such as lead, cadmium, and mercury seeps into the ground and atmosphere, creating a negative impact on human health and environment. E-cycling finds benefits from this waste by reusing harmful elements to build electronics, thereby reduced manufacturing costs. The process of e-cycling involves individual components to be dismantled manually and mechanically sorted. Reusable metals, plastics, and glass are recommissioned into the market as raw materials and scrap metal. Circuit boards are grounded up and the precious metals are extracted for reuse in other electronics. Recycling has largely contributed to environmental change by saving the environment one bite at a time.
Genetic engineering. Genetic engineering physically alters the genome of an organism to be more beneficial in different areas such as yields, pest control, and drought resistance. Genetic engineers mimic the techniques used in nature, that is, mutation and selection. People have been breeding plants and animals for several millennia already. In 1995, the first genuine GM food went to market shelves. The tomato flavor saver, which remains fresh for 10 days without refrigeration. Enhanced nutritional levels can also be achieved. Genetic engineering also improves the farming yields with minimal cost and damage to the environment. GMOs can be made to be resistant to pests without the need for pesticides, which can also cause issues to nearby wildlife. Crops can also be modified to extend the efficiency of fertilizer and convert environmental toxins to inert compounds. There is a fear that harmful organisms may be released into the environment. Furthermore, food or crops may be made that are not edible, and the risk that humans are playing God by modifying an organism's DNA. The development of seeds with high nutritional value, high yields, and pest and drought resistance enables farmers to use less water and energy and fertilizers while being more effectively nourished with a lesser quantity of food. Considering that the global population is presently 7 billion and that it may be as high as 12 billion by 2050, using GM crops has been described as potentially the most appropriate manner to have population fed and medicated. Analysis of global climate change. Information technology has the ability to greatly affect the environment we live in. What type of effects occur are completely up to us, the users of IT. One of the main arguments supporting negative repercussions of IT on the environment is global warming due to carbon dioxide. Although the topic is obviously not in favor of IT and the environment, it is, however, a heavily talked about issue and warrants some attention. 10 years ago, global warming was the buzz phrase being talked about at all sorts of venues with the idea that our world was heating up at exponential rates and would one day fail catastrophically. Today that idea has transformed into climate change. It is no question that there are areas experiencing warming, but there are also areas experiencing cooling as well. What is the cause of these irregularities? One of the main factors that plays a role is the urban heat island effect. The idea behind this is that metropolitan areas replace vegetative area with heat-absorbing materials that increase the average observed temperature. As the communities grow and expand, they slowly encroach on existing data-collecting weather stations. In doing so, large heat sinks are built up around them. These could be parking lots, brick walls, or even airplane exhaust. These influences have great effect on the daily average temperature, creating inflated temperatures on the long-term trends and therefore the future outlook. As a result, it is now definitively clear that the information technology's effect on the environment is indeed negative.